Kale had spent years wandering the dead planets of the outer systems. He was known as a Deathworlder, a human who thrived where most species could not survive. His body had adapted to toxins, extreme temperatures, and gravity that could crush an unprepared being. On this particular journey, he landed on a planet few dared to approach, a jagged world scarred by storms and seas of molten rock. The planet had a legend among spacefarers. It was home to an ancient guardian, a machine left behind by a civilization long gone. Many had tried to find it, and none had returned. Kale's ship touched the ground, skidding over the jagged terrain, stepped out, his boots gripping the blackened rock. The sky was a violent swirl of red and gray, but he felt no fear. For Kale, danger was merely a test, a puzzle to solve. He trekked through the ash fields until he saw the glimmer of metal among the rubble. The Guardian had been dormant for centuries, its body half buried and corroded. It was massive, shaped like a humanoid but with extra limbs that ended in strange instruments and tools. Its eyes were dark, empty sockets. He examined the mechanisms carefully. Many circuits were fried, joints rusted shut, and power cores long dead. Kale worked quickly, using tools adapted for Deathworld survival. He replaced corroded joints, rewired broken circuits, and with careful hands, restored its energy core. Sparks flew, and the air filled with a low hum. Slowly the Guardian stirred. Its eyes glowed blue, scanning the environment with a precision that was almost human. Kale stepped back, wary but curious. The machine spoke in a tone that was mechanical, but carried a strange resonance. It did not recognize Kale at first, its voice a mixture of curiosity and caution. Kale explained in simple terms why he had awakened it. It processed the information, then performed a gesture that suggested acknowledgement. What came next shocked Kale. The Guardian moved with fluidity that defied its massive frame. Instead of attacking, it began repairing parts of Kale's ship that had been damaged on landing. Its multiple arms worked in synchronized patterns, restoring every broken circuit and reinforcing the whole. Kale had never seen a machine show initiative beyond its programmed instructions. After the repairs, the Guardian turned its attention to the environment. Kale watched as it scanned the terrain, then raised a limb and caused dormant energy fields in the ground to activate. Crystals beneath the surface pulsed, forming a protective dome around the landing area. Storms that had raged for decades were pushed back by the force field. Kale realized the Guardian was not just repairing, it was defending. Curiosity overcame him. He asked why it did this. The Guardian's response was simple but profound. It had been programmed to protect the planet from threats. Kale, having repaired it, was recognized as a temporary ally. Its logic dictated that those who healed it would not be harmed. Kale tested its capabilities further. He asked it to explore a nearby cave system that had once been a mining facility. The Guardian moved with precision, illuminating paths with built-in sensors, avoiding dangers that Kale might have missed. Within the caves, they found remnants of a long-lost civilization, advanced tools, and writings that hinted at technology far beyond human understanding. The Guardian did more than explore. It translated the inscriptions with a mechanical yet fluent voice, explaining the significance of each artifact. Kale learned that this civilization had faced extinction due to a galactic predator, a species that consumed planets for energy. The Guardian had been left to ensure no other species could claim the planet as a resource. Kale realized the implications. The technology here could give humanity an edge in exploration and survival. But the Guardian's presence also meant that any hostile explorers would face an entity of unmatched power. The humans' potential allies and enemies alike would be judged by its logic. Over the next days, Kale and the Guardian worked in tandem. Kale repaired additional machines, optimized the Guardian's systems, and learned its patterns. In return, the Guardian expanded the protective fields, purged toxins from the rivers, and cultivated areas of the harsh terrain into habitable zones. By the end of the week, what was once a lifeless Deathworld had small oases where humans could survive. The most astonishing moment came when Kale attempted a simulation of interplanetary milicy. He sent a message into space, calling for distant allies. The Guardian intercepted it, amplified it, and ensured that the communication would not be intercepted by hostile species. Within hours, Kale received responses from other human colonies. The Guardian had taken the initiative to secure his safety on a galactic scale. Kale stood beside it one evening, watching twin suns set on the molten horizon. The Guardian had not only repaired a machine, it had transformed a hostile world into a strategic outpost, a sanctuary for humans. It had redefined what a machine could do when logic, loyalty, and gratitude combined. Kale could not help but feel awe. Then the Guardian turned to him, not in words but in gesture. It had prepared a path for Kale to leave the planet safely, equipped with resources and data. Kale knew that he could venture into the wider galaxy with confidence, but he also realized something deeper. Humans were capable of more than mere survival. They could form bonds with even alien intelligence, change worlds, and rewrite destinies. When Kale finally departed, the Guardian remained, its eyes glowing softly in the night. It continued to protect the planet, but Kale knew it would always be aware of him. The thought was comforting, for a Deathworlder who had known only danger. This alliance with an alien Guardian was proof that humanity's resilience could inspire loyalty in the most unlikely of allies. Kale looked back as his ship rose above the protective dome. The planet, once a desolate wasteland, now held life and hope. And he understood that the galaxy was full of surprises, some deadly, some wondrous, and some that could leave a human profoundly changed. The Guardian had fixed more than machines. It had fixed Kale's perspective on what it meant to explore, to survive, and to connect with the unknown. As he entered orbit, Kale set his course for the next system, carrying with him knowledge, hope, and a story that would be told across human colonies. The Guardian remained, a sentinel of the death world, but also a silent testament to the power of ingenuity, compassion, and the human spirit. The galaxy was vast, but Kale knew that wherever humans went, they could leave marks, build allies, and survive against the impossible. The legend of the Deathworlder and the alien Guardian would spread. Humans would learn, adapt, and thrive, not because they were the strongest, but because they could fix what was broken and earn the loyalty of forces far beyond their understanding. Kale's ship disappeared into the stars, but the Guardian watched over the planet, its eyes never dimming. And somewhere deep within its circuits, a spark of something almost human glimmered the recognition that a life saved could lead to unimaginable consequences. The galaxy, vast and indifferent, now had one more story of hope,